friends, Joy over here. Thanks for joining me on your mats today for Hatha Flow levels. We're going to be focusing today on hips, so both hip flexors, outer hips, and all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoy. Let's start on our backs. And for now, just step your feet as wide as your sticky mat, and then we're going to start to add a little bit of movement here through the pelvis. So just windshield wipe your legs. And then you're going to take a little figure four here. So just stack your right ankle on top of the left leg. And now you're gonna lift your hips here. You can use the hands under the hips, or you can use a block, and then slowly release and switch sides. Cross the left ankle, press your right foot, and then slowly lift. Feel the nice stretch here through the left side, and slowly release. You're gonna cross again your right ankle on top of your left leg, and this time draw your left knee towards you. This is a stop number one. You can always just pause here, or you can lace your hands, your fingers behind your left leg, or even over your left shin. Try to keep your sacrum down on the ground, so make sure you're not lifting. And the shoulder blades are also resting on the floor. One more breath here. Now you're just gonna extend your left leg on the ground and take a half happy baby here. Your left hand can come on top of your left hip, so you're not rolling towards your right side. If this is too intense, plant your foot on the ground. Another variation here is just to slide your hand a little bit down towards the shin a little bit more. Breathe into the groin, the hip joint, into the hamstring. Now take your left hand to your right knee and just guide your leg to the other side. I like to shift my hips a little bit. And take the supine twist. You can extend your right arm to the side, or you can do a little cactus arm here. Notice where you feel a little bit of, tension or resistance. What does this pose feels like right now? And then mindfully come back to center. Adjust your hips with the shoulders again. And now stack your left ankle on top of your right leg. Again, you can always just stay here. Maybe this is already enough for you, right? So remember, less is more. Or you can draw your legs closer to you, lace your fingers, and breathe. Breathe into your left outer hip. Notice what happens to the breath, right? We always want to keep the mind-body-breath connection. Allowing the breath to set the rhythm, right, for us. Take 2 more deep breaths. Add texture, volume to your inhales and exhales. from here, we're going to transition into the half happy baby, extending your right leg or bending your knee. Grab a hold of your shin, ankle, or your foot. And always directing the breath to those areas where you need it the most. And then slowly shift your hips to the left. Drop your knee to the right, taking your supine twist. Breathing from head to toe. May even feel a nice stretch here into the chest, that shoulder. And mindfully come back to center. Now let's go into a full happy baby here. So lengthen your tailbone towards the top of your mat, right? So again, try not to lift here in order to grab your feet. You can always bring your hands down. So stay active through this stretch. So you're drawing your knees closer to the floor, right? You're pulling your knees down, but you're pressing your feet up towards the ceiling. You can even, I like to use my elbows slightly inside my knees and press my knees out. Breathe with intention. Allow the stretch to happen. One more. And then slowly bring your knees to touch. You can draw little circles here, moving your knees in opposite direction, and then reverse. And then rock yourself into a seated position. All right, we're gonna come to all fours. Let's move through a few cat and cow here to add movement through the spine and shoulders as well. So bring the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. So you're gonna feel also that stretch through the front body as well. And now let's start to add circles here through the hips. So you shifted the weight into the left, then the right. Press your hips back and down. And reverse. Now you're gonna press back into a wild child's pose. So I want you to bring your knees as wide as they go. So most likely your knees are gonna come outside your sticky mat. And then press back. Your forehead can rest on the floor, or you can make fists with your hands and rest here, or use a block if you have one. Now try to relax as much as you can. So if you notice right away that you're feeling a lot of sensation or and discomfort, I really want you to focus into sending your breath there. Just allowing the stretch to happen. Two more. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Again, breathe deeply. Relax a little bit more as you exhale. And then slowly walk your hands back. Come back to the tabletop and now step your right foot outside your right hand, coming to a lizard. So I don't know if you noticed that right away I curled my toes under and I brought my knee back a little bit. So you don't have to be collapsing down towards the ground, right? I still lift my hips a little bit so I'm engaging. But I'm also not landing on that left kneecap. You can even turn your toes out to a 45-degree angle and then roll towards the outer edge of your foot, adding a little bit more of an opening into that hip. Press through the palms, engage through the upper back so you're not collapsing into the shoulders or rounding the spine. Remember, we want to align everything, right? We want to create space so the prana, the energy, can move freely, the breath can move freely. And slowly, you're going to curl the toes under, and we're going to go into Malasana, yogi squat. So this might be early for you. I know I have really tight hips. So for my very first one, I'm going to sit on a block. And you don't have to come all the way down. Remember, you can just come halfway. Breathe here. Widen through the sacrum. Feel the space. Notice what parts of your body are talking to you right now. Big breath in, slow breath out. And then slowly straighten through the legs here. You can keep your feet as wide as your sticky mat or bring it in a little bit. Grab your elbows with opposite hands and just sway from side to side. Avoid locking the knees. Release your hands. Now we're gonna go backwards. So we're gonna go into lizard on the left side. So stepping your right foot back. Make sure your left foot is, the outer edge of your foot is in line with the outer edge of your sticky mat. Your knees are stacked over the ankle. And again, maybe this is the variation that works for you, or you can turn your toes slightly out and then roll towards the outer edge. So you will see as you play with little variations, whether it increases sensation. Sometimes you're gonna try some variations that will not feel good for your body. So listen to the cues, right? Pay attention to what your body's telling you. Notice if you start to grip or resist. If you try to escape the pose, right? That's our first reaction. We're humans. We don't like discomfort. We don't like things that doesn't feel so good, right? And discomfort is also part of the process. So just sit with it. One more breath. We're gonna go back to that Malasana, friends. So curl the back toes under, tone the belly. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Again, you do have the option to sit on a prop. Maybe this time you lower that block to the lowest setting. Close your eyes, soften, find that peaceful space within. One more. Lengthen through the spine a little bit more. Allow the heart to lift and the groins to relax. And then slowly straighten the legs. Fold over. Any arm variation, whether you want to stay in stillness or again rock a little bit from side to side. And then round your spine. Circle the arms. Palms touch, hands to the heart center. We're gonna step our feet as wide as the sticky mat and we're gonna go into bear pose. So think of a chair pose variation here. Actually, let me turn to face this way. So your feet are wide and again, the toes are pointing straight forward. I'm gonna give you variations for your arms here. So we're gonna be moving through those, through this pose a few times here. So now, bring your hands to the floor like you're gonna squat, right? Sit into a chair. So see how my leg is parallel to the ground. Now reach your arms in front of you like you're holding a beach ball. Pull that belly in, lengthen your tailbone. If the shoulders are too tense, cactus your arms. One more breath in. And fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Now you're gonna inhale, round your spine like a hollowing cat, and then slowly come all the way forward to a plank, lower down. Inhale, take your cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Breathe here. This might be your very first downward dog of the day. Remember, this is your opportunity to reset, to reconnect to your intention, whatever it is that brought you to your mat. Bend your knees, look forward, make your way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Palms touch, gaze at your thumbs, draw the energy to the heart center. You're gonna go into that bear once again. So take a big breath in. Exhale, sit low. Or again, you can cactus your arms, but stay committed through the legs. The weight will be on your heels, and I really want you to bring that torso parallel to the floor. And fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back to your downward dog. From the core, inhale, round your spine like your wave, and then lower down. Take any back bend that serves you. Open the heart, spend a full breath. Exhale to release. Downward dog. We're gonna do this one more time. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump. Big breath in. Even bigger breath out. Inhale to rise. Hands to the heart center. Final one. Inhale. Exhale to sit low, so hinge at the hips, lengthen through the spine. We're gonna stay here for an extra breath. Remind yourself that you have the strength. You have what it takes to stay here. And then fold. Take a big breath in. And then step back to downward dog. Don't mind my crazy dog. That's Frida, by the way. She's a very loud Chihuahua. Now inhale, round your spine, come forward into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Open the chest. We meet in downward dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Step your right foot forward. You're gonna plant that back heel and open to warrior two. So today we're gonna mostly work with our external rotation of the hips here. So you have that heel to arch alignment, right? And your right knee is tracking, stacked over that ankle and tracking your right middle toe here. Even think about pressing towards that pinky toe side. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Wake up your arms. You're gonna add a little bit of dynamic movement here to get those hips nice and warm. So inhale, straighten your leg, your palms touch, gaze at your thumbs, and then exhale, go back to your warrior two. So every time you revisit your warrior two, go a little deeper. Inhale, exhale. Two more, breathe in and breathe out. Last one, inhale, exhale, stay here, committed through the legs, and then reverse your warrior. Reach that, add that side stretch here. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale, you're gonna think of drawing like a rainbow here. So we're gonna bring the arms up, around, back. So now you're bending your left knee here. So we're in that side lunge. And we're gonna add a few pulses here. So pulse. Two more. And back to your warrior two. Good work. Straighten your right leg, pivot your foot. Let's add a little bit into the shoulders. Take an inhale and then exhale, fold. So nice stretch through the back of the legs, shoulders. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Shake your head yes and no. Take your hands to the hips. Inhale, sweep your arms. Exhale, open to your warrior two, facing now the bottom of your mat, right? So now we're on the left side. Remember, friends, my videos, there's no editing, right? This is real life. All right, inhale, sweep your arms up, extend through the left leg, exhale. Inhale, reach, exhale. Two more. Last one. Stay committed through the legs, reverse your warrior, peaceful warrior.
this that quarantine pandemic life, right? Doing everything from home and just, doing the best we can, supporting each other and not getting so caught up, with the things that we don't have control. Good. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. Exhale, rainbow warrior. And your hands can come to the chest. You don't have to extend your arms. It just makes it look nice and fluid and pretty, right? And now pose, pose, pose. 3, 2, 1. Back to your warrior two. Now straighten your leg. You're gonna fold again, so take a big breath in. And exhale with the flat back, fold. Now you're gonna turn your heels in, your toes out, and you're gonna sit low here. Think of like a spider here. Walk your hands away from you and shift your weight back into those heels. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly straighten the legs. Walk your hands towards your right foot. So you're back at that lunge facing the top of your mat. Step back to your downward dog. And inhale, round forward. Lead from the core. Big breath in. And slowly downward dog. What's the quality of your breath right now? Bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale to rise. Hands to the heart center. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to step your left foot back. Inhale to rise, warrior two. So we were here not too long ago. Take another breath in. Exhale to peaceful warrior. Inhale, come back to center, rainbow warrior. Get a little deeper here. Inhale back to warrior two. Now lace the fingers. We're gonna go into ostrich pose. So now you fold in between the legs here. Slowly come back to center. You're gonna add a side angle here, so your fingertips can come to the floor, a block, or your forearms to your leg. Reach that left arm up, so you're opening through the chest. So you're scooping your right hip under. Back to warrior two. Straighten your leg. We're gonna turn the toes in. No, the heels in, the toes out. Now, take a big breath in. Exhale to sit low. Now, watch here so you're not folding, right? You don't wanna hinge at the hips. You wanna do the opposite. You wanna bring the chest back. So see the wall behind me. Think as if I'm touching my entire back on the wall. I like to have roughly my knees over my ankles. Now you can move a little bit from side to side. And then come back to center, sit a little deeper. Turn your thumbs forward, all 4 fingers out. Breathe in and breathe out, twist here. So even though you're twisting and folding, you're not rounding, right? The chest is open. Come back to center and switch. So just wrap the shoulder back and down. Back to center. Start pose, straighten the legs. Take an inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Be mindful of your transitions, right? Take your time. Take inhale. Exhale. Reverse your warrior. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale to rainbow warrior. One breath. Back to warrior two. Lace the fingers to ostrich. So keep bending that left knee here. Firm up through that right leg. Come back up and find your side angle. Don't be afraid to feel sensations, right? And remember, our job, our intention, our work when we come to our mats is to be fully present. And come back to your warrior two, straighten your leg. You're gonna go back to that horse or goddess pose. Turn your heels in, toes out, hands to the heart center. Take an inhale. Exhale to sit low. So now we're gonna again add a little bit of dynamic movement. So think of like hugging yourself. So you're gonna inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale. Exhale, switch. So each time you're gonna bring one arm on top, right? So it doesn't matter which one. Exhale, get low. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, last time. Inhale, reach. Hands to the heart center. Turn your toes turn your toes forward. Hands to the hips. Hinge at the hips. Fold all the way. Release that low back. Keep a softer bend on your knee. And here you can start to move from side to side if you want a little bit more of movement, fluidity, or if you want to find stillness, you can do that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're gonna walk the hands towards the right foot, revisiting that lizard pose we took right in the beginning of the class. Untuck your back toes. Now maybe you come down to your forearms and you can use blocks under the elbows. Just make sure both elbows, both forearms touch the floor or your prop. Because we do want to keep the spine long, right? So you have that long line from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Give me a couple more breaths here. Let's breathe in deeply and audible exhale. All right, if you're down on your forearms, you're gonna straighten your arms again. Curl your back toes under. You're gonna go into Malasana. Step your left foot outside your hand, coming into that squat. And remember, your feet can be as wide as your sticky mat or even wider, And if you're having a hard time pressing your heels on the ground, which is what we want, you can fold a blanket or a towel and place it under your heels so you have a little bit of support. Now use your arms to press into the legs to lift your heart. You can breathe through sensations, use it for transformation. Fold it here. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Once again, breathe in. And breathe out. You're gonna inhale, rise one-legged mountain, draw your left knee with you, take a figure 4. Sit low, and then inhale, come halfway. Exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, halfway up. Last one, you're gonna go down and hold. Wake up your toes. Use the wall if you need, or blocks if your balance is off. Lengthen through the spine. And slowly release. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, come all the way down. Big breath in. Plant your hands, flow or step back to a downward dog. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Take your knee to the ground. Again, option to come down to your forearms. And take 5 breaths here. Listen to each inhale and exhale. Notice, observe your reactivity to the pose. We're going to revisit our Malasana Yogi squat. So curl the back toes under, step your right foot outside your right hand. Maybe even close your eyes for a moment. And then slowly release as you straighten your legs. Bring your feet to about hip width. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, breathe in. And breathe out, fold. You're gonna draw your right knee with you as you rise. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Cross your right ankle right above your left knee. You're gonna inhale, find your balance first. Take a big breath in. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, low. Last one. Sit as low as you can here. Find a focal point, something to help you to focus, to stay present, to find your balance. And release. Shake it out. Can add a little bit of movement here, rock from side to side. And we're gonna finish our standing series here with a little tree pose. So we're gonna start bending the left knee. So standing leg strong. And then you can place your foot where it best serves you, whether it's all the way up, right above the knee, or below the knee, or even big toe on the floor. You're gonna add a little twist, so you're gonna cactus your arms. Take an inhale, grow tall. Exhale, slowly twist to your left. Slowly back to center. And switch sides. Inhale. Hands to the heart and release. Shake it out. We want to always start fresh. So let go. Try not to step into the future, right? Allow yourself to be right here, right now. So inhale, lift your right knee, open out to the side. And you may not be able to use the same variation you did on the other side, and that's okay. Root yourself. Bring your arms to cactus. Breathe in and breathe out. Twist to your right. Keep your hips facing forward. Come back to center. Switch sides. Breathe in and release. Shake it out. All right, friends, we're almost done. We're gonna do one final hip stretch here. So for those of you that you know already your hips are very tight, having a block or a hard cover book or a folded blanket will be helpful. So come to all fours here. And now take your right knee under, your right knee behind your left knee. And then you're gonna sit in between your feet. And you don't have to use the prop, right? As long as both sits bones are touching the floor. I'm feeling extra tight today on one side, so I'm using my block, and just sitting here, I'm already feeling plenty of sensation. So now flex your toes, your feet are wide. So stop number one, it's here. Number two, you can walk the hands forward and fold, but make sure again you're not lifting the sits bones off the ground. So keep that contact with the earth. And just try to soften, breathe. Notice the areas where you can relax a bit more, where you can let go. All right, and release. You can walk the hands forward and switch sides. The opposite, so the left knee comes behind the right. Open your feet as wide as they go. And then bring your sits bones to touch the earth or your prop. So as you bring the opposite leg on top again, you should feel sensation in different areas of the body. Keep the upper body soft and easy. As you allow the hips to melt any tension to melt, any resistance, perhaps anything that you're holding on to and your hips that does not serve you. A couple more breaths here. We're going to be exhaling through the mouth. So inhale, filling up the lungs. Exhale. One more time. Big breath in. Audible breath out. All right, and then slowly release the pose. Uncross the legs. Windshield wipe. And we're gonna take a seated twist. So you have two options here. You can just hug your right heel in, sitting tall, right? So again, avoiding that rounding. Sit tall as you bring your shoulders over the hips. Or you can cross your right foot over. Hug your left arm over that right leg. Take your right hand behind you. Flex your left toes here. See how my foot is nice and active, and I'm shifting my gaze past my right shoulder. Slowly release and switch sides. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to twist. Again, inhale. Exhale. And release. We're gonna fold one time here, so hips back a little bit more. Take an inhale. Lengthen. Allow your heart to lead the way as you hinge at the hips and fold. So the moment you start to round that spine too much, just pause, bring that chest forward. And remember, you always have the option to bend your knees generously. A couple more here. And then slowly release. You're gonna come down to your backs, finding your final relaxation, your Shavasana, giving yourself the opportunity, right, to just pause, to just receive, no more efforts. Just find your natural breath again. And it's always an honor to be able to guide you. Thank you so much for joining me on your mats. From my heart to yours, namaste.